Okay, as I mentioned, we're here at Friendly Neighborhood Comics, and I'm here with the shop owner.
Ernie Pelletier, thank you for stopping by.
Well, thank you, Ernie, for having us. Ernie, I know you've got a great shop here. I mean, this place is just fabulous. Marc's going to pan with the camera and take us around the shop,
Oh, great.
and we can see some things that are going on. But besides Free Comic Book Day, I understand you've got something else that you're really excited about, and that's the comic-related novels.
Right. One of the things that I've always tried to do at the comic store is have it be more than just comics. And, there are a lot of really cool books out there that people that are interested in comics may be interested in as well. Usually we talk about genre novels, science fiction, fantasy, horror, crime. So what we try to do is have a nice selection of genre novels that may appeal to, for example, our crime comic readers. Maybe they'll like a mystery. Certainly the people that are picking up the Buffy comic, well, now we've got the True Blood comic, and we carry the True Blood books as well. So we find that there is a lot of overlap, and people like the idea of having a convenient place where they can find a wide variety of books that interest them right here at the comic shop where they're coming every week anyway. So that seems to be a really nice mix. And the one thing I have found, though, is that, when people think of comic book stores, they don't think of them as really being true bookstores. And that's something that I'm trying to change. I really would like to have more of a bookstore atmosphere and be able to let people know that, yes, Game of Thrones is a perfect one. On HBO right now, we carry all the books. And when the new book comes in July, we're going to have it, and we'll have it at a competitive price. So you don't necessarily need to buy it online. You can come in where there's a cool store with Game of Thrones books, a lot of things that may interest you if you like the show. So we really try to have a nice mix of material.
That's great. I know that my introduction to reading started with comic books,
Yes.
and of course that led into they had bigger comic books at the time, like king size comics, and then I
Right.
started reading regular books and things, and my parents were like, "Wow, he's reading," that sort of thing.
The same thing happened with me. I was an avid reader of comics. I ended up being, throughout my elementary and into my high school years, I ended up being the best reader in all my classes because I was reading so much good material. And the funny thing about comics back in the day, not so much true anymore, but back in the day, people used to think, well, it's kind of like junk reading and whatnot. But the reality was the vocabulary that you were exposed to in comics was often significantly higher than what you were experiencing in the classroom. Now today, teachers and librarians love comics because, as we all know, the kids growing up today are visually based. Between the internet and even the smartphones and cable TV and the video games, our kids are wired visually. So if you give a kid Moby Dick to read over the summer, I love Moby Dick, but we all know you're going to fight with that kid to get him to read it. However, you give that same kid a Moby Dick graphic novel, not only is he going to tear through it, you're not going to have to fight with him, he's going to love it, and then he's going to say, what else do you have? What else can I get? And I see that all the time. So comics, I think, serve a really unique niche in breaching the gap between our kids who are exposed to so much video material and getting to enjoy the love of reading. It's a nice fit because of the graphics and the artwork, and the paper quality is so much better than the newsstand print we used to get back in the day. I think they're really, really effective, and it's great to see so many teachers and librarians catching on to that.
That's great. Now, besides comics, besides genre novels, I notice you also have a great collection of games here. You've got videos, you've got collectibles.
We really try and carry a lot of everything, so that again it's kind of a one-stop shopping for people that are interested in a lot of this material. And we try and do more than just the superheroes too. That's why we really try and stock up a lot of the independent books, a lot of the things like Love and Rockets, the Robert Crumb books, and books of that nature. We really try and capture a wide variety, so that if somebody comes in and they say, well, I'm really not into superheroes, that's okay. We've got a lot of other books that you may like.
That's great. Well, we're going to take a look around the shop.
Sure.
We're going to see exactly what you've got to offer so that our fans out there can see you. And hopefully the fans who are in our viewing area here will be able to come right up. And why don't you give us the address of the shop?
Sure. We're Friendly Neighborhood Comics. We're at 191 Mechanic Street on Route 140 in Bellingham. We're easily accessible off of exit 17 off 495. We're about 2 miles off the highway, a direct shot. We also have a website friendlycomics.com that you can go look. We have a shopping cart page on there as well if you want to pick something up that maybe you just don't want to make the trip up for. But really, come on up, check us out. I think you'll have a good time. And if you mention this program, we'll give you 10% off on the spot.
That's great. And what are the hours of the shop?
We're open on Sundays from noon until 6 p.m., Monday and Tuesday, noon until 8 p.m., Wednesday, new comic book day, 9 to 9, Thursday and Friday, 12 to 9, and Saturday, 9 to 9.
That's fabulous, Ernie. Thank you so much for
Great.
talking
Thank
to
you. I
us.
appreciate